Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video from the Purple Penny. My name's Mark. I own and run the Purple Penny along with my wife Catherine. So the Purple Penny is a small coin and banknote dealer. We're in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia. We've been here for 5 years, been doing these videos for most of that time. We try to do them on Mondays at about 12 o'clock. So what does a coin and banknote dealer do? Well, basically we buy and sell coins and banknotes and collectibles. Most of what we buy over the counter, so we get people bringing things here into the shop and we go through them with the person standing there watching us and point out things that are interesting to them, and if they decide to sell it to us, we pay them for it, and all that stuff will appear in the shop for sale or up on the website or wherever at some point, and that's what we do. That's what we spend most of our week doing. On Mondays and Tuesdays the shop is shut. Doesn't mean we're not working. We're always here working on Mondays and Tuesdays. That's when we get all of our back office stuff done, getting website listings prepared, taking photos, doing the shipping, doing the bookkeeping, paying our employees, all that boring stuff that you need to do to keep a business running, and that's what we do on Mondays and Tuesdays. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. We're in Mawson Lakes, which is about 15 minutes north of the centre of the city. Last week was our first week that we'd been open for a few weeks, and as you can imagine, Wednesday, which is our first opening day, was rather busy. We had a lot of regulars in the first few hours. And there was a coin release on Thursday from the Royal Australian Mint, because that's another part of our business. We are authorised dealers for the Royal Australian Mint, which means that we get sometimes an allocation of new products that are released by the Royal Australian Mint, and we make those available to our customers here in the shop, and if there's enough left over, then we'll put those up on our website and sell them that way. And we've been authorised distributors for about 5 years now as well. So we'll do a wrap up of those releases from last Thursday. Before we get onto that, we'll just say a few hellos to everyone. Hello Patrick, Samantha, Charles, Ray, Peter, Patrick, Antonius, Michelle, Catherine, John, Daryl and Ash. Thank you everyone for joining in today. So we'll go into the news here, and we'll start off with the Adelaide Coin Expo, which is on here in Adelaide on October the 5th and 6th. So if you are here in Adelaide, please do get along to the Adelaide Coin and Banknote Expo, sponsored by the Numismatic Society of South Australia. It's on at the Torrens Parade Grounds, which is in the city. Gold coin for entry, and parking on the showgrounds is $10 via cash. If you don't want to pay for parking, then you can park in the North Adelaide parklands for free on Saturday or Sunday. You'll find some free parking there. There's a bit of a walk, but you will find some free parking there. 25 or more dealers and the Royal Australian Mint will be doing a coin swap, which is where you show up with cash and you can swap your cash for collectible coins, such as bags of dollar coins and bags of $2 coins and that sort of thing. They're always good fun, the coin swaps. A few more hellos. Hello Daryl, hello Bevan, hello Rick, hello Ian and hello Van. Thank you everyone for joining in today. Next item on the news is just a follow on from Catherine's visit to the Royal Australian Mint last week. She was in Canberra last weekend and dropped into the new Mint retail shop out at their manufacturing facility. It just opened last Monday, so she was in there on the first day, and she thought she'd share this one with us. This is a really interesting display showing some trials for $2 coins, and you can see those trials up the top there where they've segmented the coins into different sections and put different colours on them, and I'll just read off what it says at the bottom. It says, in 2019 the Mint undertook a range of tests to determine if using different shapes on coins would enhance the look and longevity of added colours. By using 4 concentric rings with colour print over and between them, It was found the coin design is more robust and less likely to be damaged. With this innovation, mint coin designers can now be more creative with their coloured designs, particularly for circulating coins. The trial coins and the resulting releases can be seen here. So, the mint does test a lot of what they do, and it's not just dumb luck that the coins come out and last as long as they do in circulation. There is a lot of testing put into them, and it's just interesting that the mint has shared that process with visitors to the mint gallery there. So if you are in Canberra and you get a chance, duck in to the mint and take a look. It's a great display, and get in while it's fresh and everything's undamaged and all that sort of stuff, so well worth a look. Now there is another release next Thursday, so this is Thursday of next week, 29th of August, and the Mint's just finishing off their Charles III roll releases. They're releasing the 2024 rolls for 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents and dollars. Of course, they've done the $2 and 5 cents already. 10 cent rolls premium are $20, non-premium are $15, 20 cents are $25 and $20, 50 cents are $35 and $30, and dollars are $60 and $55. Just reminding you, premium means that the coin is head tail. That means that on one end you can see King Charles's portrait, and on the other end you'll see the reverse design. So the lyrebird for the 10 cent, for example, and those premium rolls have a holographic sticker on them. The non-premium rolls are the head or tail head or tail examples. They do not have a sticker on them, and if you're just wondering, the rolling process is completely random about whether you get a head tail or tail or head. The law of averages says you should get half head tail and 25% head and 25% tail. The number of rolls available for these, you can find them on the Mint's website. There's a lot more of the non-premium examples available, and I suspect that's a result of the rolling process for the roll sets that were released a couple of months ago. So those, as I said, are going to be available on Thursday of next week. We will not be getting any of the non-premium rolls, and only getting a tiny number of the premium rolls. So if you are interested in those rolls, give us a call or source them some other way. Right, the other news from the Mint this week is that they have combined shipping now for their ballot system. The ballot system is a new system that they introduced several months ago to make new release products more easily available to people, and the issue with them was that if they were releasing 4 products on one day and you won all 4 products in the ballot system, then you would get 4 separate packages with 4 shipping charges, and at $10 a go that added up fairly quickly. The Mint has obviously sorted their systems out and worked out how to combine the shipping on a single ballot. So if you do enter a ballot for the rolls, for example, at the Mint, and you happen to win 8 rolls, or 8 rolls, non-premium and premium, then you will have those combined into one package and only pay one combined shipping cost. So kudos to the Mint for doing that. There are a few things to add to that. Different purchase channels cannot be combined. What does that mean? It means that if you manage to purchase through the Mint's eShop or via their phone line, you cannot combine the shipping with that with ballot wins. There will be no difference in the shipping times. There will still be a delay of several weeks between the ballot being run and the items being shipped out. You still cannot decline a ballot win, so if you win an item in a ballot, you do pay for it and you do get it. You can't opt out of that, and there will be no refunds or combined shipping for previous ballots either. So I guess it's a step forward by the Mint. Well done to them. My thoughts on the shipping time is that that's a good thing for collectors, because it stops people from immediately flipping new release products over via eBay or social media and artificially driving the prices up on things. So while I understand people want it and they want it now, At the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter whether it takes 2 weeks to get you to you or 6 weeks, as long as you end up with it. And if you're someone who just wants to flip it and you're toey about the delay, well, too bad. Too bad. Now, we'll just jump to the next item on the news here, and this is about Pompeii. Before we get into that, we'll just say a couple more hellos. Hello, Ian, Peter, and Coinstruck, or Kevin. Yeah, thank you for joining in. Right. How do we do this? What's going on here? There we go. So you probably are aware of Pompeii. Pompeii was a Roman city on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, somewhat southeastish of Rome, and Pompeii itself was destroyed by an eruption by Mount Vesuvius, and much of the city was covered by pumice and volcanic ash and was preserved remarkably well. It is probably one of the biggest tourist sites in Italy, and it is still an actively dug archaeological site as well, with 22 hectares of the city still waiting to be excavated. So I'd love to go there one day and see the finds and watch the archaeologists actually dig there. And there has been a find made there just recently. They found a small room that they are fairly sure is a bedroom, based on the location of the remains of the furniture and various adornments around the room. And you can see a picture of the room at the top right there. And there were 2 bodies found in the room, a woman aged 35 to 45 and a young man aged 15 to 20. It appears that the man died when one of the walls collapsed on him, and the woman is unsure, but probably died of suffocation or heat when the pyroclastic flow happened. That's I believe the flow of hot stuff during the volcanic eruption. But what is interesting is that the woman was carrying 3 gold coins on her and some gold jewellery. So they believe about 1,500 or 2,000 people from Pompeii died. It was quite a high status city. It was a holiday town, I guess you'd call it. And clearly with 3 gold coins, this woman was a fairly wealthy individual. I believe that's equivalent to about 4 months' pay for a Roman soldier at the time, so it's a fairly significant amount of money. So interesting find there at Pompeii, and what is an active archaeological site. 2 researchers in Europe have trolled through the metal detecting finds that are recorded on various databases in Europe, and they've evaluated the find location and minting location of over 500,000 coins that have been found, dating from 325 AD to about 950 AD. So pretty significant data set size there. And basically one of the findings they've made is looking at the minting location of the coin and the minting date, and the find location of the coin, and looking at how that coin has moved in between the find location and the find date. Now you can't obviously date a metal detecting find exactly, but you can approximately date it by looking at the date of the last coin found in the find. And what they found is that money flowed across Europe very freely through the Roman Empire times, and also for 200 or 250 years after the Western Empire fell. Roman coins were flowing quite steadily from the east, Byzantium, which is now Turkey, to the Western Europe, and also from Northern Europe across the Mediterranean into Northern Africa. And that continued for, as I said, 200 or 300 years after the Roman Empire fell, and it only came to a halt, it appears, when with the Arabic invasions of Spain and North Africa, and Roman coins ceased to flow then from Northern Europe down to Northern Africa, and Arabic coins replaced those Roman coins flowing from east to west. So interesting that examination of metal detecting finds has shown how money stopped flowing and started flowing again as different world events happened. So how much money did it cost in 1320 to buy 150 sheep? Well, it turns out 1,500 German silver pennies would get you 150 sheep in 1320. seems like a specific number, but that's because 1,500 silver pennies were dug up in a German forest just recently. You can see a pile of the coins on the right hand side there and a close-up of the coin on the left. So these coins were all minted around the Black Forest in Germany or Switzerland, some in what is now eastern France, and they all appear to be what's called a Bracteate penny. Those are very thin silver coins that weigh less than a gram. They basically only have a design on one side and an incused version of the design on the other side. And if you're wondering where Bracteate comes from, it derives from the Latin bractea, which means a thin piece of metal, which describes the coins perfectly. So in 1320, if you wanted 150 sheep, you needed 1,500 silver pennies to pay for those. Last news story for the day is fake hundreds floating around in Tasmania. So someone has been passing off motion picture money in Tasmania at various locations, and motion picture money is made for obviously for TV shows and things like that, and it's supposed to be controlled, but the police are aware that $50 and $100 notes are being sold via social media, and they're being passed off. The notes themselves are not made from the same material that the normal notes are made from, so they feel quite differently. And across the bottom on both sides it says this note is not legal tender, and it also says for motion picture use only. So unfortunate for business owners who have unfortunately accepted some of these notes, and I guess if you are handling $100 notes, you should always look out for these sorts of things. Now we had some real life issues get in the way this morning, so I ran out of time to produce a topic of the day. I have done something, so I thought I'd share this with you. These are some tools that I use to help identify coins. Identifying coins, if you're just starting off, can be a tricky thing. There are many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, I'm not sure, of different types of coins that have been minted since about 600 BC. And identifying them, even some of the modern ones, can be very difficult if you're just getting into the hobby. So I've listed off a bunch of resources there that I use to help identify coins. So the first two are more or less the same thing. Google reverse image search. So Google reverse image search is a tool that you can use on your computer. And you can basically upload an image to Google and it will come back to you with a list of images that it believes are similar. So how do you use this? Well, you can take a picture of a coin that you have and upload that to your computer and use Google to do a reverse image search on that. I used that exact thing this morning to work out the specifications on those German silver Bracteate coins, because there were some pictures of those in the news articles, but there was no mention of the size of them or the specifications. So I grabbed those images and did a reverse image search on them to try and find some catalogue entries for those coins. I've done the same thing in our Sunday paper here one day, where someone was asking where a particular building was in the newspaper, so I took a picture of it with my phone and did a reverse image search on it and found the location very quickly. So Google reverse image search is something you can use on your computer very easily. If you have a phone, whether it be Android or what's the other one, Apple, there's an app called Google Lens, and if you have an older Android phone or an Apple phone, then there's an app you can install called Google Lens. If you have a newer Android phone, then Google Lens is built into the phone, and that allows you to take a picture with your phone and do a reverse image search on your phone for that particular picture, and that can help you identify coins that way as well. And I find that to be incredibly useful for ancient coins, and if I'm quickly needing to look at a coin that comes in over the counter that I haven't seen before, I find it a great way of getting me onto the right path to be able to look it up in catalogue, because the catalogue books that we have here for coins are many thousands of pages, And not even knowing what country a coin comes from makes it very difficult to use those catalogues. The next item there is the NGC World Coin Price Guide, and this is basically an online version of the Kraus coin catalogues, and the Kraus coin catalogues are the industry standard for world coins. So the NGC World Coin Price Guide can be used along with Google reverse image searches to identify a coin. You can use the country and the weight to look up items on NGC and get an idea of mintages and mints, and also some idea of values as well. So that's a pretty useful thing. I do know that some people use apps on their phone to identify coins. I'm not a great fan of those. Oh, here we go, our network's gone down. I'm not a great fan of those because they try to assign grades to coins. They try to assign values of coins, and I don't believe that any app can actually do that. They can be useful to sort of set you on the right path for the country of a coin and things like that, but if you are going to use them, I would just use them for that rather than for values and grades, because the value and grading that those apps offer is worse than useless and basically dangerous. So and I guess the other thing is that they do cost money, which is fine. The app authors need to make a living as well, but I wouldn't pay for one, because the useful information that they provide, which is countries and denominations and things like that, can be had for free using Google Lens or reverse image search. So I wouldn't bother paying for an app. You can ask an expert, and an expert is an expert. It's not some random on social media. There are many coins that I have in my head that I can look at and tell you what it is. And I always invite people, if they ring up on the phone and they've got an unknown coin, to either bring it in and show it to me, or send us a picture, because often I just know what it is by looking at it. And if I don't know exactly what it is, I can usually tell you what country it's from or what era it's from and help narrow that search down. And if you get me on a good day when I'm super motivated, if it's something I don't know, I'll take photos of it and work it out for you and get back to you via email when I've worked it out. I have done that a few times for people. Now, there are two specialist tools that I use for ancient coins, because ancient coins are much more difficult to identify. There's WildWinds. You can see the URL there for that. WildWinds is an online catalogue of ancient coins. It is a little bit difficult to use because it relies on you being able to identify the city or country or emperor or ruler or moneyer or whoever it happens to be able to identify that properly. So if you use WildWinds in conjunction with a Google text search or a reverse image search, it can be useful to identify ancient coins. Ochre, which is the online catalogue of, I forget what it stands for, but it's basically a searchable database of the American Numismatic Society coin collection. And it's really neat once you work out how to use it to be able to put in legends and things like that from ancient coins, and it'll come up with a list of possible matches, and then you can scan through and look at pictures and try to match them up yourself. So that's a wonderful research, Ochre, and the URL for that is there. Kraus hard copy books. Kraus is, as I said, the industry standard for world coin catalogues. They produce one for every century, and then they have various specialised catalogues. The catalogues are 1,000 pages or more. They're as big as old phone books, and they are quite expensive, between $100 and $200 at least, but they are a super useful research tool. And what I find them really useful for is that the images of the coins in them are actual size. So there are many coins that have virtually identical designs but just vary in terms of size, and that's how you can determine what the denomination is. And being able to pop a coin onto a picture in a hard copy book and compare the size is really invaluable. And if you are into ancient Roman coins, then Roman imperial coinage is the hard copy books for you. There are many volumes of it, and it costs many hundreds of dollars for a full set, and I don't have a full set and I never will. But if you're really into your ancients, then that's the the books that I would be going for. Many countries have their own specialised catalogues. For Australia, for example, in Australia, there's the Renix Coin and Banknote Value Book for PNCs. There's the what's his name, Greg McDonald's book. So and there's books for the USA and for the UK and things like that. So I hope that some of those resources are useful for you if you are looking to identify coins. And as I said, if you do get stuck, you can always just ask me or Catherine. Now, I just want to finish up with saying thank you to a friend of mine who sent me a really cool present this week. It's a 2023 Morgan dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, the United States Mint. So for the last few years, the US Mint has been restriking Morgan dollars and peace dollars. And I don't collect Morgan dollars and peace dollars, but I do like them. I can appreciate them, and my friend very kindly sent me this in the mail this week. So there's the outer box, and I'll just show you the coin here. So if you know your Morgan dollars, you would know what a Morgan dollar looks like, and there's a Morgan dollar in a capsule there. So this is a Brilliant Unk version. I don't know if they do proofs or anything like that, but it's using Morgan's classic design there. It's called a Morgan dollar because he designed the front and the back of these coins. So it's got Liberty on the front there, and then an eagle on the back. So I believe these are made to the same specification as the original Morgan dollars. Morgan dollars were minted from 1878 to 1921, I believe. Oops, upside down. So thank you to my friend for sending me this. I am well chuffed with it, and I'll be hanging on to this one. This will not be getting resold, so yep, thank you. So interesting product from the US Mint there. I believe they've been incredibly popular, and they can be quite hard to get. So if you are interested in Morgan dollars, it might be one to look out for. Right, that's it for this week. Next week, real life permitting, there'll be another video. And next week it will be the last Friday of the month, so if you are, last Monday of the month, I do apologise. If you are going to watch, then it is live question and answer day. That's always what we do on the last Monday of the month. So if you've got any questions that you would like to have answered, please send them through to me, and I'll do my best to answer those for you. And if you don't want to give me time to prepare, then just bring them on me on the day and see me squirm and see what answer I manage to give you. Right, let's just have a look at a few more comments before we carry on here. Kim, hello. Coinstruct says, I think if I could go back to the start of my collecting, I would focus on ancients. Coinstruct says, what about Numista? Yeah, look, Numista is so Numista is an online catalogue of coins that is created by collectors. It can be a reasonably useful resource. I don't use it a whole lot, but if you are doing Google searches on coin legends and things like that, Numista often comes up, and I use Numista then to get the Kraus number and go and look things up on the NGC catalogue. So yeah, Numista is reasonably useful. Samantha says, don't use eBay for identification of prices. That's probably sage advice there, Samantha. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Graham. Hello, Glenn. Peter says that they do San Francisco reverse proofs of the Morgan dollars. So a reverse proof means that the, let me guess, the portrait is mirrored and the fields are frosted. So I'm guessing that's what reverse proof means. No worries, Michelle. And someone says here that the Morgan restrikes are 999 silver, where the originals were 90%. Is that right? Is it? Yes, it is right. So this one is showing as 99.9% silver, so it's got 0.86 of an ounce of silver in it, compared to the originals, which were 90% silver and had about 0.77 of an ounce of silver in them. So thank you for sharing that. No worries, Daryl, Antonius, Peter. Ray, no worries, and Cam. Thank you everyone for joining in. If you have got any questions that you'd like me to address next week, please send us an email or a Facebook message. give us a call or come into the shop and have a chat about it, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. And as I said, if you want to save them and spring them on me live and see how I go answering them live, I'm happy to do that as well. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Happy collecting, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll be back same time next week. Bye for now.